Hey guys, what's going on? Guka here, back to talk to you guys about Season 5 launch. We're a week away, and I'm really looking forward to the first day of season. It is such a unique experience to have the entire community be level 1 again, and having that initial rush and excitement of getting to level 70 and getting geared up as quickly as possible. Reaper of Souls has been out for going on 2 years now, and nothing compares to the first day of seasons because everybody gets that launch experience again, and it only happens in that first 24 hours because everyone is just doing the same thing at the same time. And everybody wants to get to max level as fast as possible, and I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks to help your leveling experience so that you can get to max level the fastest. Not everybody is going to be able to play for 10 to 15 hours a day like some of the really high end players are going to be doing. So it's important that you maximize your time that you play, especially on the first day, because it's really going to help your experience as the season goes forward. Now, there's a lot of people who are probably going to play on day one that have never played a day one before for seasons. They've maybe just joined up a week or two later, gotten their friend to boost them in about 20 minutes, and they don't understand how they're going to be able to that quickly hit level 70 when there's nobody boosting them. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks, but I'm also going to keep it real and let you guys know that it involves leveling the old-fashioned way. You're going to have to gear up all the way from 1 to 70, getting yellows and blues, and hopefully a lucky legendary here or there. And you're going to end up having to grind out all of those mobs to finally hit level 70. The experience takes typically about 3.5 to 5 hours if you're constantly playing, which isn't too bad. But for some people, that can be a very unbearable grind. So here's some tricks to help you guys have a better day one of season 5. So the first thing you're going to do when you make your character, and obviously I'm going to be showing you guys this on level 70 because there is no season to actually demo this on. I'm going to go to my game settings and make sure that I click on adventure mode first. You will, by default, start out on the campaign. Make sure that you click adventure mode, save and close, and start your game. The reason being is that we don't want to waste our time going through that little initial part of the campaign. It's very boring, very slow, and doesn't give you a lot of experience. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start right here, and you're going to walk over to whichever follower applies best to you. So obviously as a demon hunter, we're going to go to our scoundrel, we're going to go inventory and skills, and he will actually be holding a two-handed crossbow that is a white item, which you might think, why does that matter? Well, it is actually a lot better than the white item that you start out with, and it only has a level requirement of 1. So you're actually going to take your follower's weapon and equip it to yourself. This is a subtle damage boost that is again going to help your character kill things faster, especially for those first couple of levels. What I would recommend doing from this point onward is I would go to your waypoint, and I would go to Halls of Agony level 3, and just take time quickly with your group to clear up through to the Butcher and kill the Butcher. The reason being is that the Butcher is going to drop a chest which has a bunch of blues and has a bunch of yellows, which is going to only enhance your character's power, and it's guaranteed drops that you can expect. After that, I would come back to town, and since now we don't have Rift Keystones anymore, that goes back to Season 4, but we don't have Rift Keystones anymore, so now you can just go into your Nephilim Rifts and just run them with your group. This is going to be the fastest way to level. It is a little bit faster in a party to do this because you will have the multiplier from the 4 of you being together, and let's remember that even though there are experience nerfs coming at level 70, where all experience gear and experience boosts are reduced down to a very small percent, from 1 to 69, those boosts aren't in effect, and you will still be able to benefit from that. Now, a trick that a lot of people don't know is that once you've leveled through your wrist a little bit, once you reach level 6, you're actually able to come back to town and go all the way over here to this nice little guy named Radic the Fence. And why is he important? Because he is the only vendor in Act 1 that sells you trinkets, and at level 6, rings become available. Rings will not drop for you right off the get-go when you hit level 6, so this is going to be the only way for you to enhance your character's power with rings. So make sure that you buy 2 rings for your character, typically wanting to get either your main stat, attack speed, or plus damage are the 3 best things that you can get, and it is honestly worth a couple resets of the game because the vendor is not always going to spawn you the best rings. It is worth it for you and your party to get the best rings, and vice versa. When you hit level 10, these amulets become available. You also want to be able to buy them. Now at this point, you have a choice, and I'll tell you guys about both of them. The first way is to just continue doing rifts and you will basically continue to do this experience all the way through up until level 45 when you take a little break to do some crafting. But the other experience that you can do is you can actually leave the game, and this isn't a cheat by any means, it's just a different method of leveling. That's up to you if you want to do this side journey. You can actually go and start playing the campaign. And the reason why I would recommend this as an alternative option is because, well, it's pretty easy to burn out on doing rifts at low level. Your character isn't very powerful. The runs are typically kind of slow compared to the speed that you're used to from doing them at max level. So the runs tend to get monotonous, and maybe if you piece together a group from just community chats or clan chats and people get bored and they just want to log off, that can be really detrimental to your day one experience, because it's hard to fill people on day one because there generally aren't a lot of people that are going to be in your level bracket that are playing by themselves or need to find a pickup group. But the reason why I would suggest doing the campaign as a refresher is because when you get up to the Skeleton King, make sure you don't kill the Skeleton King, you leave him as is, and then go back to doing your rifts. And the reason for this is because above level 20, the Skeleton King will have a 100% chance to drop a Leoric's crown for you and your party on the first kill. And if you guys don't remember what Leoric's crown does, I'll bring it up for you right here. It has a secondary effect of increasing the effect of any gem socketed into this item by a range of 75% to 100%. Now, this bad boy becomes pretty juicy when you're able to find rubies starting at about level 18. You and your party will all have Leoric's crowns, and at level 30, Leoric's crown will have a socket guaranteed rolled into it. So that's why I suggested at about, level 18, level 20, if you start to get bored of rifts, switch over to the campaign, clear up the Skeleton King, don't kill him, go back to town, do your rifts, and then when you hit level 30, quickly pop back into that campaign game, kill the Skeleton King, get you and your entire party Leoric's crowns. It is a bit sideways of a boost because you obviously have to spend the time clearing in campaign, which isn't as fast as Nephilim Rifts, but it may benefit you later on as you're able to ramp up the difficulty with you having Leoric's crowns, which is an experience multiplier. Now the last bit here is at level 45, you're going to go and you're going to pour all of your money and hopefully all those mats that you've been saving up into your blacksmith. And the reason being is that at level 45, you can start to craft up your level 60 rare items. Now, why 45 in particular when you can dump all this experience and gold and mats and everything into your blacksmith and craft this earlier? The reason being is because at 45, you start to fall into range with the reduced level requirement. And reduced level requirement is a bit rare to get on an item, but if you're able to get a level 60 rolled rare weapon onto your character at level 45 or 46, you're going to be able to do so much damage that you will probably be able to jump up from hard/expert difficulty, which you were doing at that point, up into even Torment 1 or Torment 2, because that is how much more damage your party is doing if you're luckily paired with your Leoric's crowns. That is a crap load of experience. 45 is really the halfway point of the leveling experience because it's going to take you a few hours of just grinding slowly to get to 45, and then once you get those weapons, the experience is completely sped up. You can do the same thing at level 60 when you go to your weapons, and you are able to craft a level 70 that can roll with reduced level requirement. And at that point, it should take you about an hour to an hour and a half to power through from level 45 to level 60, as long as you're constantly making sure to upgrade the rubies that are in your helm, because you're going to get better rubies as you level up, making sure that you're keeping up to date with your gear, and of course making sure that you stay together with your group so that you're benefiting from the experience multiplier. Your leveling experience on a good run will take about 3.5 hours, depending on certain legendaries that may or may not drop for you and your party, or it'll take you about 4.5 hours, which is really with no luck and a lot of slow grindy playtime where you're not with your party and you guys are pausing to do a lot of different things. But typically, if you start your season, so for example for me, I'm on Pacific time, if I start my season at 5 o'clock, I want to be level 70 by about 9 o'clock, which is pretty early in the night, which gives me at least a few hours to get grinding away at level 70 content. So hopefully these tips and tricks helped you guys out. The last thing I'll say is that if you get certain items, so for example, Leoric's rings, They have bonus experience. They are amazing for your group. Try to spread the wealth. You can only equip one. Don't be selfish. If you get 2 or 3, don't salvage them off to try and save your mats for later. Make sure you give it to your group. It will benefit you. Also, make sure if you come across any puzzle rings that you put them in your stash and save them for level 70, because those will be very, very useful for you getting initially geared up and getting guaranteed legendaries and gold. So that's all from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys learned some things. I will be back in a couple days to post up a video about just tips and tricks for getting through that initial Paragon 1 to 120 grind where you don't have your sets, you're not super OP, but you're trying to maximize your playtime and your experience gain. I'll give you some tips and tricks for that. Until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like the content that's been coming out, and I will be streaming lots more for season 5, so if you guys could hit up a follow on my Twitch page, which is linked below, that'd be great as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.